Thanks. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tarot for Kindness. You missed the part where I'm like, oh my God, I look like such a mess. And I love what you're telling me, like, great. Listen, we're showing up. Come as you are. You can come as you are. There's no judgment here. We're showing up and doing really what's the most beautiful thing that you can wear or do to enhance your beauty. Have a compassionate soul and do something kind in the world and help other people and be a loving person and a compassionate person and a person who is providing humanitarian aid. That's what we judge you on, not how you if you're wearing a sloppy caftan and your hair is a mess and you have no makeup on and you have a pimple in the middle of your forehead. We're not judging you on that. In fact, the camera isn't even on. So we have, even if we wanted to judge you on that, we couldn't. So this is Tarot for Kindness. This is our weekly get together. We do it every Sunday. On the first Sunday of the month, I teach a workshop. So we start a little bit later, usually around 6:30 Pacific, 7:30 Mountain, 8:30 Central, 9:30 Eastern. But all the rest of the Sundays will be here at 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern, except on the Sundays when I'm going to be off. And there's only one Sunday where I'm going to be off this week, and that is on the 27th. I will not be here for Tarot for Kindness. But other than that, we will be, oh, and also, yeah, that's just the only day I'm off is the 27th of July. Because I'm going to be I'm going to be in Wisconsin and Minneapolis.
Oh, how fun.
Having fun.
I love Wisconsin.
So, yeah, so pretty up there. Going up to the lake and being in okay, can I just tell you this before we get into all we're doing here? Because this is also our time to chat, right? The cabin where I'm staying, which is a cabin that belonged to my friend Sid's family. Her family owns this cabin. They've had it since I think the 50s or the 60s.
Oh, wow.
It is like being in a Wes Anderson movie.
Oh my
It is
God.
like in a Wes Anderson set. Her father was a visually creative, and she is visually creative, and their families, they are kind of like the Royal Tenenbaums. They're all really weird and unique and quirky, all her whole family. But the cabin itself, you feel like you've entered into a Wes Anderson movie. And on top of it, there's a little island that you take a ferry to get to, an island that has no cars. Everyone goes around on bicycles or pedicabs on this island. And there's like little restaurants and things like that, and little bars and little shops and things like that. It blows your mind. The cuteness it's cuteness overload. On top of that, being with friends, playing music, having fun. I mean, it is idyllic. So that's what I'm going to be doing when we won't be here. I'll be having this beautiful, amazing time. So when we are here, what we're doing is we are doing tarot readings to raise money for seniors in Ukraine. Seniors in Ukraine need a little bit of that beauty and love and peace. If you have been watching the news on Ukraine, you know that there's been horrific bombing happening in Kiev. There's been horrible things happening. I mean, atrocity upon atrocities. Seniors who have been displaced, or even seniors who live in Kiev, who have been, having to suffer during these bombings, many of whom are disabled, not able to sleep. Can you imagine relentless bombing for 3 years? And yet still having to function and do and just live your life in that environment is beyond. Now, on top of that, these seniors they have very, very, very small pensions, really nothing that is going to cover any expenses other than they have to make a decision. Like, do I get heat, or do I get electricity, or do I get food, or do I get medicine? And they can't get them all. So what our friends Subotin Harbor are doing are providing 2 weeks for each of these seniors, 2 weeks worth of groceries for each of these seniors, so that it can extend their budget a little bit and help them so that they can afford to buy medicines. Oftentimes, even Yulia is delivering medicine and other necessities to them as well. How does that happen? Well, $40 buys 2 weeks of groceries for a senior in Ukraine. So when you make your donation here, we do a tarot reading and plus a little something extra, a magical from the Love Witch. We give that to you in exchange for that donation. That donation goes directly to Saboten Harbor. We're a small grassroots organization. They buy the groceries, they deliver the groceries to these seniors. And so it's a win-win-win for everybody. We get to do a wonderful reading for you, which is a win for us. We love doing readings and we love sharing our gifts with you. You get an amazing reading. You get a little extra bonus from the Love Witch, which we're going to talk about in a second. And then we give this money to the seniors, to Spotin Harbor, who then in turn buy the groceries for the seniors. And many of these seniors have said that the profound gratitude that they have for this, they will say things like, I was praying for a miracle to get some food in my cupboard, and you guys appeared. And so by you getting a reading and making that donation, you are creating a miracle in someone's life. So we're so incredibly grateful to you, because without you and your donations, we wouldn't be able to do this. We'd be sitting here talking about me going to the Wes Anderson cabin. So, I mean, we could do that too,
But we could do that on the phone,
If nobody donates, you're going to have to listen to us chat about our lives. So, anyway, if you'd like to get a reading today, we would love to do a reading for you. And we would love for you to have that participation in this and be able to help these seniors. And your donation is 100% of your donation is going to feed them. If you know anything about these places like PayPal and Venmo, and so they take a cut of every money that's sent, right? I put that cut back in. So if you make a donation and you donate $30 for a 3-card reading, that entire $30 is going, I'm covering the expenses of that the Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat take out. Speaking of which, if you'd like a reading, all you have to do is make a donation, $10 per card. So if you want a 1-card reading, $10, 2-card reading, $20, 3-card reading, $30, and so on. You can go as high as you want to go. We won't stop you. I have plenty of tarot decks. If you want to make $1 million donation, I'll read tarot cards for you all night long. But we're really grateful for any donation, whether it's 1 card, 10 cards, or 15 cards, or anything in between. We're so grateful to do that. Make your donation on Venmo or PayPal or Super Chat. Super Chat's a little button down below that looks like a dollar bill, or you can go to the Venmo or PayPal links that'll flash up on the screen, or you'll see them at the top of the chat. Right? Is it at the top of the chat? I can't see the chat. So
I moved it. It's in the description of the video now. That way you can click both of them, and you don't have to scroll up. So instead of scrolling up, scroll down and look at the description.
Excellent. I love that. See, you know what? We know who the real brains is behind this organization right here, Love Witch. Love Witch is always the techie one. I'm like, I don't know how to do this. Oh my gosh, bippity boppity boo, and she's magically fixed it. So anyway, she's back behind the scenes getting your comments up on the board here, getting the links up there. Once you've made your donation, make your donation. But we need to know how much you donated, where you donated, and what your question is that you'd like us to look at with the cards. So that could be a specific question. What does so-and-so think of me? Or how can I start my business? Or whatever question that you have that you want to look at with tarot, then we can do that. But if you don't have a question and you want to make a donation, you can get a general reading. How is my week ahead going to be? What do I need to know about the next month or whatever? So you can ask that more general reading. You can have a specific question. You could focus on a topic. Hey, I want to know about career or relationship or health or love life or family or whatever. You can ask that. Any of the above will work. Now, after you've done that, what we're going to do is we're going to read your question out loud. I'm going to pull cards, and the Love Witch is going to do. I don't know what you're going to do. What are you going to do?
Charm casting.
Charm casting. Oh my gosh, I love the charm casting. So you will pay per card for the tarot reading. So $10 per card, 10 cards, $100, 5 cards, $50, 4 cards, $40, whatever. And then as a bonus, no matter how many cards you get, you will get a charm reading from the Love Witch at no extra charge. So that will be your little bonus. And we'll also give you our undying gratitude, a big shout out, thank you, and all of that for that. So anyway, we have some readings already coming in. We have Jessica at the top of the list. Then comes Seasick Music. Then comes Devon. We got some regulars here. We love you, regulars. If you're sitting and watching and you'd like to get a reading, make a donation and give us a question. Let us know in the chat where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is. And we'll be happy to look at it with the cards. All right. Anything else I missed? I think it was a long ramble to explain the whole thing for anyone who hasn't been here before. But anything else I missed? Do you think I hit it
I
all?
think we covered it. Should we jump into Jessica's?
Yeah, let's look at Jessica's. The deck I'll be using is the Relative Tarot by Carrie Paris. Beautiful deck. Love this deck. It's one of my current faves on my heavy rotation here at the Parlor of Wonders. All right. Thank you, Jessica. Jessica always gives a little extra to cover the fees. It's always so kind and so generous that you do that. Thank you so much, Jessica. Our apartment isn't working for us any longer. When their lease is up, convenient, familiar city, or quiet, rural, closer to where we are now. Any specific signs? Thank you. Okay, let's look at a move for Jessica. What do we see in a move? Let's see. Love it so far. Beautiful. Okay. Here's what I see. Firstly, I'll say moving is a lot. It really is a lot. Every time everybody moves, everyone goes, I'm never moving again, right? And then we all conveniently forget when we need to move again. So I see this a little bit showing up with our Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is worry, preoccupation, can be even ruminating about something. So I see that, part of this is like I see the improvement that comes with moving, but I also see this kind of indecision or this anxiety about moving as well. So one of the things that I'm getting from this is like maybe some release. I mean, it's nothing that is not, it's totally normal to have these feelings about a move, or even this like insecure feeling about a move. But you, Jessica, I know for sure have this ability to work your magic and to just release those feelings of worry, because your move is going to be very positive. It really is quite a positive one. What I see really is more of moving to city environments, and I'll tell you why. Very, very simple thing. We've got two cards here that are telling me city. One is the Eight of Pentacles, which is about work and building something long lasting. And the other one is about Three of Pentacles, which can also be about work. Now, I don't know if you or your partner work that you need to be closer to work, or you work from home. Even if you work from home, there is more available to you in a city environment. There's more options for you, and even within career there can be more changes that can happen if you're in that city environment. So those things, while we would look at pentacles as earth, of the earthy cards, those ones tend to be more cityfied, more because one takes place in the traditional tarot. The Three of Pentacles takes place inside of a church, right? Inside of a church that they're building. And the Eight of Pentacles, this guy working on his workbench. So I feel like that environment where you're around people that are creating and working and doing that is going to be really where you're going to get more satisfaction. Let's talk first about the Eight of Pentacles, which is the next card to come up. Eight of Pentacles is about building something, right? Practicing and perfecting. When we see the traditional card, we see a guy working on a workbench and he's doing the same thing over and over again, which is putting these discs on a wall. But everyone is a little bit of an improvement over the one before. So what I'm seeing here is an energy of like, look for that improvement, right? If you are like seeing the opportunities are bigger there's definitely an energy between Three of Pentacles and Eight of Pentacles of growth of economics, economic opportunities, and this idea of perfecting. I think when you move to your next apartment, it will be a step up from where you are now, but it won't be your final landing place, not with Eight of Pentacles showing up. It's saying the next move will be an improvement over that, and the next one, an improvement over that. So I see you kind of climbing this ladder, as we see on this guy here, climbing this ladder of improvement over the different moves that you're going to do. Doesn't mean you're going to be moving every 6 months. I don't get a sense of that, but just knowing that long term, you're going to be improving things each step of the way. So I would say first look at that energy of like, how can it we take a step up? What will it be an improvement over the place that we're living now? I think also gaining some clarity about that might assuage some of this energy. This is like thinking, overthinking, worrying about things. I would suggest to you that before to manifest this beautiful new living space that where you're going to be living, you might want to um, think about what are the things that are on your wish list that aren't really working for the place that you're living now, and what you would like to see as the improvement. So you might like to be closer to um, this, facilities like restaurants and supermarkets and farmers markets and artistic things, or um, social things, or whatever. So that might be one of the things that you're trying to manifest in this new living arrangement. Or you might want to have more space, or a nice balcony for growing plants, or even a backyard, or whatever. So I think that you want to start thinking about what's not working for you here, and what's working, what would work for you in place of that. Create that list of the beautiful things that you want, the amazing things that you want, and let that list be that point of attraction for bringing that ideal place to you. So think before you even start looking for the new apartment, set the intention of what you're looking for. You might be pleasantly surprised by seeing other things that you never considered before when you're looking at those places. Like, oh, I never really thought about having a bigger kitchen, but now that I'm seeing these apartments, I'd like a bigger kitchen, right? So you may add to that list. That's no problem doing that. You also can um, really start to clarify, and that clarity, I think, will calm some of the worry. When you're clear about what you want, what you're looking for, the qualities of the place that you're looking for, I think that's going to really help. High Priestess energy is next, and High Priestess is saying step into the mystery, right? That's always the invitation of the High Priestess. Step into the mystery. You don't need to know exactly where you're going to live, or exactly where the place is you're going to live. You can start window shopping now. You can look, shop around, look for places, start, going for looking at places in person to see if they're the place that you want, looking at the city where you think you might want to live, or the town where you think you might want to live. This is all going to be helpful to you. You just step into the mystery. You don't need to have all of the answers right now, because the answers will become clear after you step in. And our final card is that Three of Pentacles. You know what I love about this card for you is that it allows you to have more connections in your life, friendships, connections with other people that are interested in the same things that you're interested in. I just love the energy of that Three of Pentacles. It really represents working alongside others to build something beautiful. So the other message of this is to get together with your partner and talk about what he wants, and talk about what you want, and get that list going, because I think that list is going to really clarify for you and remove any of that worry. So yeah, I think this is really exciting for you, and definitely a step up, which I love. So what do you have, Love Witch?
I have this arrow, and to me, you actually just hit on what I was going to say, which is I think you need to be talking to your partner, right? Like talking about what you want in a place, talking about what it would be like to live in the city, talking about what it would be like to live in the country. Sometimes when we're just like thinking about things, it can be hard to really get a clear idea of it, right? Or we can get like a limited idea of it because no one's like casting other lights on it, right? So we can get tunnel vision, but then all of a sudden you start talking about it, and it's really easy to poke holes in that or bring up other great things about it. So the reason I relate this to arrows is because arrows travel through the air, just like our words do. So I think it's just time to have like lighthearted conversations that aren't intense and heavy and about like organizing. Okay, we're going to use this moving company and we're going to move on this date. None of that like detailed stuff, but just really simpler, easy, how it's going to feel topics. That's where you should be right now. And yeah, keep those conversations light. Don't get too intense, and just be talking about it. And I think then it's going to make itself really clear.
Yeah, I think it's so helpful because we can have High Priestess is my girl, shows up so often. Yeah, she's asking you to step into the mystery. I also feel like that can be, that wisdom that you gain from this beautiful move. So, I think, we can have our ideas about something, and then we need to also, because you two are moving together, like incorporate all of the ideas, right? You can have both your wishes and his wishes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect thing to do. So I love that. Thank you so much, Jessica. We're so grateful to you. Jessica, you're a regular. You always have great questions. We're so glad to have you here and so glad to uh, honor you for making your donation. It's so grateful to you
Mm-hmm.
for doing that. All right, next we have Seasick Music with a 1 card reading. If you'd like to get a reading, all you have to do is go to Venmo or PayPal, which are in the description of this video, or you can go to Super Chat, which is the button down below. Make a donation, $10 per card, 100% of the proceeds go to feed seniors in Ukraine. Seasick Music say, hey, I Venmo $10. I would love guidance on my relationship with B. Not sure if I should lean into the connection or let it go. Still early stages. Thank you. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got here. Thank you so much for your donation, Seasick Music. Let's see. Oh, interesting. Okay. I love it, actually. You've got Empress card energy. So this really tells you, this card is a card about having the complete package, right? Somebody who's your best friend, the person that you can rely on, your hot, sexy lover, the person that is showing you love and care on all levels, romantically, and also in a friendship way as well, like being a good person, right? So it really is a message to you to not settle for anything less than that, that that's out there for you. Other thing I see with the Empress card is the person that you're with should treat you like an empress. It doesn't mean that you have to be a spoiled brat and they have to be, kowtowing to you, bowing to you, or anything like that. But what it does mean is that you're a priority, right? The Empress card is you are the priority. And then even at an early stage in a relationship, you should be the priority, meaning they're spending time with you, they're responding to you, they're making time in their schedule for you, and they're following through on their promises to you. If you're starting to see that there's some behavior that seems a little flaky or a little bit doesn't really, isn't really jiving with you being the priority in their life, it doesn't mean they have to be doing things with you or be thinking of you or anything 24/7, but that you are the priority in their life, right? So if they're not treating you as the priority, it's maybe time to pull the plug because there's someone out there that will treat you as the priority. That's 100% it. So with this situation, I think it's time with that Empress to have that very regal assessment. Is this pleasing me? Is this person making me a priority at the same level that I'm making them a priority? And am I being treated with respect? And if you feel even a whiff of disrespect or that you're low priority, even at an early stage, it's probably a sign to get moving. So yeah, that's what you need to do. It's so simple, but so beautiful. And what it's telling you is that love is out there for you. So
Mm-hmm.
if it is with this person, great. If it's not with this person, there's someone out there that is going to treat you like the Empress.
I definitely agree. I pulled this cute little champagne flute, And so I think you need to be with someone who is celebrating you and is really in that excited phase and taking you on very impressive dates. And this doesn't have to be about money or someone who's able to really spoil you, but somebody who wants to give you all they've got, right? No matter how much that is. And I'd much rather be with someone who is like poor and obsessed with me to a healthy level than somebody who is rich and disinterested, right? That's no fun. So, if B is celebrating you and treating you like a real prize, then I think stick it out. But if that has passed, then I think you already got the best part of this relationship, and you should move on to a bigger and better one. And this to me reminds me too of like champagne problems, right? Like I love finding those in my life, problems that a younger me would be so happy to have, right? Like, oh, I had to get up so early. The cats woke me up at 11 a.m. Younger me would love to sleep in until 11, right? So finding a relationship where the problems are things that you could never imagine was a problem, right? Like it's just that silly that, yeah, it's just like a champagne problem. This is a problem for an elite person. So if those are not the types of problems that you're encountering with B, get out of there.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Really makes me think of what you said, really makes me think of like, I've gone on some dates where someone took me to a very fancy restaurant, but it was very much like maybe about them trying to impress me or really um maybe they just went there all the time and it was no big deal to them. And then I've been on dates where like somebody took me to their favorite little cute place or not even maybe had a picnic somewhere, but they were really making an effort. And
Mhm.
those are the ones you want to look for. So it doesn't have to be like about spending money. It's about spending the effort, that champagne effort, right? It's coming through. So
Yeah.
yeah,
You
I
could be
love
having
that.
the champagne of beer, right? It doesn't have to be expensive.
True,
Get a Miller High
true.
Life.
Is that Miller High Life? I think that's
I'm not personally endorsing that. I don't think that.
I was thinking sparkling water. It doesn't even, but it's the idea that somebody is giving you their best, right?
Mhm.
That is champagne, giving you their best, right? And making an effort. And I think that's something so special. Yeah, so, so, so special. So you know the answer. And what you need to know is that if it's B that's treating you like an empress, great. If you're not being treated like an empress or you're not being treated like, a prize, there's someone who will treat you like a prize. So
Yeah.
there you go.
On to another letter of the alphabet.
I love that. All right. So next is Devon. Sorry, Devon. Said your name so weird. We're going to be, Devon is the last one on the list right now. If you'd like to get a reading, you can get a reading. All you have to do is make a donation on PayPal, Venmo, or Super Chat. If you want to find the links for that, you can find that in the description of our video below. And then also, once you make that donation, come on over to the chat. Tell us where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is. I'll do a reading. It's $10 per card. So if you want a 1-card reading, it's $10, 2-card reading, 20, 3-card reading, 30. So make your donation accordingly. Ask your question. If you don't have a question, you can say, like Devon, I bet you Devon is about to say, what's up for the week ahead, right? You can ask what's up for the week ahead, the month ahead, what's up for a certain situation. You can do anything like that. So if you want to make a donation but don't feel like you have a question to ask, you can just get a general reading from us. I'll be doing tarot cards and you'll get a bonus charm reading from the Love Witch. All right, let me see. Wait. Before you put it on, I'm not looking. I am sensing that Devon is saying that she's feeding a granny and that she's going to have the usual. Am I right?
Here, you should be
Ah!
looking at that Anita.
Wow, I am such a great psychic. For those of you who don't come here every week, Devon always has her regular order. It's always feeding an entire granny by doing a 4-card reading. Four cards is $40, and $40 feeds a senior for 2 weeks. You're every week, Devon, you're a miracle in some Ukrainian senior's life, and that is something that karma is going to come back to you 1,000-fold. Your kindness and that's why this is called tarot for kindness. Your kindness is really going to pay you back. Absolutely 100%. So let's see what we've got for Devon. Okay, Devon, before I even do this reading, I'm going to put a note in my calendar right now to email Devon tomorrow and set up a time for us to discuss projects. Okay, Devon? You know what projects are. All right, we're going to discuss projects. So I'm going to reach out to you, but I put a note so that I wouldn't forget. I always remember every Sunday, and then I go on with my business, and everything piles up on me, and I look at the things in front of me, and then I forget, and then I remember every Sunday, every time I see you. So now I have a note, so I'll do it this time. All right, so let's take a look. All right. Okay, Gemini girl, you got lots of air cards, lots of swords cards. All right, the first thing I see this week is Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords is a card that has really kind of a dual meaning. It can mean, and I'm really getting this sense of like, this is really important. Like I'm tapping into intuition, and what I'm getting is you need to have a good boundary. I mean, swords represent boundaries. And what I'm sensing with Seven of Swords is somebody taking credit for something that you did. So having that boundary, that healthy boundary, means saying to the person, pulling them aside. You don't want to do it in front of everybody and create a kerfuffle, but to talk to that person, to pull them aside and say, you took credit for something that I did. And that doesn't feel very good to me. Just call it out. Even if it's somebody who at work who is above you or anything like that, it's having good boundaries. My sense is, Vaughn, 100% that you're the person that will let it slide. You're the person that'll let it go just to keep the peace. But I think this has happened more than once with this particular person. And I think that you need to actually have a private conversation with them where you say, this really hurts my feelings when I come up with an idea or I did something and you're taking credit for it. And that's all you have to say. You're not embarrassing them. You're not getting an argument to them with them. You're just telling them how you feel and that you're seeing what they're doing. That's the other thing, that they're being seen. And then they might have an excuse, or they might have, oh, I made a mistake, or, or, well, I worked on it too, or whatever. And you can also say, what does feel good to the people that work with you is when you give them credit. Like you can just kind of coach them. So there's something in there. There's something really important in there for you with that Seven of Swords about having that good boundary where if somebody is stealing your idea or taking credit for your work, that you tell them. It's not telling other people. It's actually calling you to be very courageous and step up in your courage and have that conversation with them and tell them about that boundary that they crossed. And make a suggestion of how they could be a better person, right? Mm-hmm. Now, second card is Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords, when called out, I really have to address it. Yeah, Devon. I mean, that is like, and you don't have to be upset about it. You don't have to get in a big argument. You don't have to yell at them or anything like that, but you just have to tell them that's not nice, and say it in a way like, when you do that, it hurts my feelings. Then it's about your feelings about it. It's not, and then they know that you're paying attention. So I think that's important. Eight of Swords is a card that when people get this card, they always go, oh, Eight of Swords. I love this card. And I'll tell you why I love this card. Because this card is saying to you, you're thinking small when you should be thinking big. So when I get called out by this card, I'm like, oh, I should be thinking more expansively. I need to get out of my belief systems and get into more expansive beliefs of what is possible. So I love it when this card shows up. So that's really the message for you, is where are you playing small? Where are you feeling like something is not possible, or there's nothing that can be done, or your hands are tied with something? because this card tells you they're not tied. Your hands are not tied. Things can be better. Things can be more expansive. You can get out of what you think and believe are the limitations to get into unlimited thinking. So, Eight of Swords, I love that card because, yeah, it is a call out. When we get it, we're always like, okay. But in the sense that it challenges you to think beyond your limitations, because whatever limitations you're seeing out there, whatever limitations you're feeling out there, are something that you can bust out of. You can absolutely bust out of those limitations. So look to your own limitations. Yeah, it's hard work to do, but it's going to be the thing that gets you into the place of empowerment and expansion and joy and happiness. So that's like our goal right now. That's our work right now. Look at that. This week is all about boundaries. The Ace of Swords is showing up there. Ace of Swords is the card of victory, victory and success. But it also requires something of us, which is that we have to have good boundaries and we have to be clear and communicate. So all of this is all about that, right? Ace of Swords is saying if you want to get the gold ring, if you want to get the prize, if you want to get the golden crown, it's about having new ideas, new ways of looking at things, new ways of communicating with others, new boundaries with others. Boundaries aren't a bad word, by the way. So boundaries don't have to be shutting people out, because I know how kind and compassionate you are. It's not about shutting people out, but it's about standing up for yourself and saying, you know what, this doesn't work for me, right? It might work for you, but it doesn't work for me. And just saying that can be a very empowering feeling too, to say, I need this, or I don't need this, right? To say what your boundaries are. Boundaries is some good work to do this week. Really good work to do this week. Ace of Swords also can represent these new ideas, new things. So it really is about turning over a new leaf, and in this case, a new leaf of speaking up to someone when they've crossed a boundary with you and just explaining it very calmly, explaining what that boundary is, right? Um, it's like, if the love witch has never said this to me, but if you were like, I only want you to contact me from between 10 a.m. and 5 p.m., I'd be like, oh gosh, I didn't know that, if I left a message that was bothering you. Sometimes I leave messages and I think, oh, well, if she's sleeping, it's not going to be a big
Yeah,
deal.
sometimes I
But
text you back at 3 a.m., right?
yeah, exactly. You text me in the middle of the night for you. But um but if you had that boundary and you said that to me, I'd be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know." And I'll do that, right? It's no big deal. So I think that's what you have to understand, is that when you're expressing a boundary, it's just like, no, it doesn't have to be a big hairy deal. It can be just what works for you, and letting people know what works for you, right? So good. Last card, Knight of Pentacles. I feel like within all of this, there's someone around you that's very grounded, very solid, who can be very helpful and a good support system. Earthy energy, because as a air sign, you might get into your place where you're overthinking it, or you're ruminating on it, or you're getting confused even by a situation. And this grounded person can really bring you back down to earth, so that you're not ruminating, you're not spinning, you're not worried about it, but they're going to be that support, that cheerleader for you, that's going to make you feel like and are clear about what your boundaries are, what things you have to say, and so on. And I do feel like there's this person around you. It feels like a peer, and it might be a friend or a work friend or somebody like that, who really is in your corner, who's going to be very, very much there for you. So you're not doing this alone either. You can bounce your ideas off of someone else just to get their feedback, and to get that support that you need. So there you go. Thank you so much, Devon. Now, Love Witch, take it away.
I have this beautiful glimmering pomegranate. This says a lot for me, actually. The first thing that I think about with pomegranate, well, actually, the first thing I think about with pomegranates is Greek mythology, right? Going down to the underworld for part of the year. And, I think that's kind of great for this, right? If you need to have a difficult conversation where you're kind of calling someone out and setting that boundary, that's fine. You don't have to live there forever. It's a vacation. You go there and then you come back. Just like Persephone going down to the underworld, she's not doomed there forever. And if you, it's all about how you perceive it, right? And if you feel like, oh, this is going to be this terrible, awful thing that's going to ruin my whole week, then it has that potential. But if you're like, okay, this is a quick visit to a darker place for a bright reason, and I'm going to get through it, then that's exactly the way to approach it. Which leads me to my other way of thinking about pomegranates, which is a pomegranate is a thing made up of many things, right? Like all those little seeds make up the pomegranate. It has symbolism in the church, right? Where like all the seeds are the people in the church and the pomegranate is the church. And it has symbolism like this in all sorts of cultures. So I think don't look at this difficult task as something that's like a bad thing. It's something to help the greater good and to help the whole, right? And one bad apple can ruin the whole batch. So helping that apple out and being like, here's how you prevent yourself from rotting real fast is going to benefit everyone around them. Because if they are stealing your ideas or not respecting your boundaries, I would be willing to bet that they are doing that with other people in your circle or in their life or all of the above. So it's going to be helpful for more than just you. So go for it.
I love that symbolism of the pomegranate. And, in Persian culture at Yalda, which is at the end of the year, um, at the winter solstice, they stay up all night and they eat pomegranates and do fortune telling by reading
Mm,
Hafez. And one of the symbols of the pomegranate is the abundance of the pomegranate because it has so many seeds. And I love that beautiful imagery too, as that abundance that can come from having that wonderful, that there's good things that can come out of drawing boundaries. It's not about punishing someone, it's about the good that can come out of it. And I
it's a
agree
magical
with
act.
the yeah, like I agree 100% with the love, which it's not just benefiting you, it's benefiting the person that you're talking to, and it's benefiting the other people that they come in contact with. So I think airing this out or having this conversation in a really calm, beautiful, and compassionate way, as I know you do, will be life changing for you. So good.
Yeah. And
Okay.
hey, who's calm and compassionate and wise and associated with pomegranates? The high priestess. She has them right behind her. So just channel her or like make her the background on your phone right before you go into this or tuck that card into your wallet or your shoe or whatever. But tap into her compassion and wisdom and her she always knows what to do, right? So you can just ask her for help.
Yeah, that's lovely. That's lovely. Thank you so much, Devon. We're so grateful to you. Adrija, oh my gosh, Adrija, we've missed you. So glad you're here. Thank you so much, you regulars. You really just light up our lives. We're so grateful to you, hanging out with you in this virtual way, and your wonderful, generous donations. We're so, so grateful. So thank you so much. Adrija has a one card reading. How will my coming week be? Any guidance? Thank you so much, Adrija. All right, let's take a look and see. Okay, listen, this is about clarity and new strategies. This week is pivotal for you. Pivotal for you. We have the Five of Swords showing up. And Five of Swords, as I like meditate on a card. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about like my work with over many, many decades with the tarot. I had cards that I really like went on journeys with in such a beautiful, beautiful way, and discovered like layers of meaning that came from those original symbols, right? That we see. And the Five of Swords revealed to me its meaning. And one of its many meanings is this idea that when we are in a Five of Swords state, we're a little bit like a hamster that's running on a wheel. There's lots of action and lots of movement, and even desire and really energy being invested in something, but there is no progress being made. That hamster can run on that wheel for an hour and it's not going to get an inch further. It's just going to keep going around and around. And the Five of Swords has that that ability to be, I mean, that interpretation. Is this from a work perspective? It might be from your work perspective. Let's talk about this a little bit more. So if there are areas of your life that you are giving energy to, that you are working really hard on, that you're running and running and running and not making any forward motion, the Five of Swords is the reminder that you can get off that wheel and get going. The thing that I think with the Five of Swords is like if you keep investing in it and you keep investing in something that is not progressing or moving forward, you're staying in the same place. If you want to move forward, you have to change your strategy. You have to change your strategy. So that can apply to any area of your life. If you feel like you're looking for jobs, for example, and you're looking in one area or one career or one job description and you're not seeing any movement, then it's time to change the strategy. Look for different jobs in different locations or different um, adjacent sort of career paths. So that could be one thing. In terms of relationship and love, if you keep going after the same type of person over and over again and keep getting the same result, well, you know that old saying, definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. That's all about Five of Swords, right? So where are you putting your energy and what result are you getting? And do you keep getting the same result? If you keep getting the same result, get off of that wheel and move forward in a different way. Choose a different strategy. Go out with a different type of person. Go out, find people in a different platform or in a different way, or look for a different kind of person or approach it in a different way, right? Even approaching it with um, a more light and playful way could be a change of strategy rather than a serious and intent way. So think about the areas of your life, consider the areas of your life where you're feeling like there's no movement, or you're feeling like things aren't moving forward, or you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling like you're putting in a bunch of energy and getting nothing in return, and choose a new strategy, a new approach to that thing. That's what Five of Swords is asking for. Okay. So work, could be relationship, could be both, could be other areas of your life, but where are you not moving forward? And if you're not moving forward, choose a different strategy. So, all right, Love Witch, what do you have for Adricha?
Very similar perspective. I got these scissors. And so, yeah, I think it's about cutting the things that don't work out and then really focusing on the things that do work. So, what could use some trimming right now? I don't know about you, my hair gets tangled all the time. I gotta find the knot, and usually I have to cut it out because it's that bad. So sometimes you just have to identify the source and then cut it out and move on. So I think anything that you feel, any area where you feel stuck or anything that just feels unhelpful right now, cut it out. And it doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't mean blocking people or swearing something off for life. It just means right now that's not helpful, so we're going to stop trying that. And maybe one day we can revisit it. More likely, we're going to realize we don't want to once we get to the other side of it. But yeah, I think you just need to identify those things and then really focus on how can I release them and shift my focus to things that are more productive and helpful and where the energy is flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't need to put our energy into a place where it's stuck because we're not going to unstick it. It's going to unstick itself, and that's its problem, not ours.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I really feel like those things that feel like we are just the hamster running on the wheel, you know where those areas are in your life, and it's just get off the wheel and try something different. It's that
Mm-hmm.
simple. Once you start moving forward, you're gonna feel like, and you cut those things out or step away from those things that are the stuck energy. You're gonna feel like such a breath of fresh air coming in for you. So yeah.
Yeah. Also, sometimes, like if I'm struggling with anxiety or just like things keep coming up for me, I use them as as an invitation to do something that I like, right? So if I'm having a really anxious day and an anxious thought keeps popping into my mind, I'll pick up like my Game Boy or something, right? Use it as an invitation to have some fun and stop thinking about this. So if there are these areas where you're stuck and you feel frustrated by it, don't look at it as like this big challenge you have to overcome. Look at it as this invitation to focus on things that are less frustrating.
Yeah, yeah, that too. By the way, I have a question for you, Love Witch. Is it really a Game Boy?
No, it's a Switch, but I always call it a DS for some reason. Look,
So
I
do
never
I.
had
God, I always call it a DS. It's not a DS, Mom. It's a Switch.
That's so
Okay.
funny because I've never even seen a DS, and I don't know why I call it that. But you can ask B; she's always correcting me.
Game Boy. I'm picturing you with like this very rudimentary.
I have one of those too, though,
You
for
can have
my.
a pinball, a little one of those like, oh my gosh, when I was a kid, they had pinball machines in the Sears catalog. Of course, the pinball machines were like plastic and like, 2 feet long. Um, but it's like, oh, I really wanted that pinball machine. And then I got it and I was bored with it in an hour. But I didn't even have video game. Well, I did have Pong when I was a kid. Okay, I'm not ancient. I'm just very, very old. That's a
When I
different.
was a kid, we were always getting sucked in by like the infomercials on TV and like QVC and stuff like that. And my mom would never fall for any of it, but she was like, "Call your grandma. She's watching QVC right now too. She'll probably buy it for you." And she would, and it was always a letdown. But thank you, grandma.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, back in the day, all that stuff in like the 90s. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. QVC. All right. Well, thank you so much, Adrija. Thank you, Devon. Thank you, Seasick Music. Thank you, Jessica. Mel has a 15 card reading. Mel, we missed you. We're so glad you're back here. And thank you so much for your generous donation. We're so grateful to you. So, what is Mel's story? What does Mel want to know about? Do we have Mel's questions up
Mel
yet?
has 3 questions so far, but I don't know if more are coming. But here's the first 2.
Oh my gosh, Mel, wishing you happy birthday. Thank you so much. My birthday, for those of you who are keeping track, my birthday was yesterday. Had a great weekend away, had so much fun. Thank you so much, Mel, for that kind wish. Yeah, I'm 61 now. So here you go. Getting into my 60s. So Mel's questions are, will the close sign be up this week and what day? What day? What
Now
day?
there's 7 questions now. Do you want me
Okay.
to show
Well,
you all of them, or do you want to just do these and then I'll show you the rest? What do you think?
no, we can just do these. And Mel, let us know if there's more questions coming or if seven's that, so that we'll know that seven's it, and then we'll know how many cards to use for that. So just let us know in the chat. What do I want to talk about while we're waiting to hear from Mel? The deck I'm using is the Relative Tarot by Carrie Paris. It is I'm going to talk about this a little bit. Oh, what I should talk about is the giveaway. But anyway, this is Carrie Paris deck. This is the Relative Tarot. This deck I'm using. But what I'm really going to talk about is next Sunday. If you would like to win a copy of this book, Flower Magic, it is The Secret Language of Flowers. It is an absolutely gorgeous book. We sell it at the Parlor of Wonders. It's profusely illustrated with images. You just have to go to spellsquad.com. There, the Love Witch has put it up. Sign up. You will get a link to join us for the Live Magic Q&A Tea Party next Sunday, which takes place at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, 8 Eastern. It's 1 hour where you get to ask me questions about magic, law of attraction, divination, anything. If you want to know how to do it or want more information on something, this is the place to go. Maybe you even have like a request. What's a good spell for doing such and such? You can bring that to the meeting. Now, this meeting is absolutely free. It doesn't cost anything, but you do have to sign up on my email list to get the link. How do you sign up on the email list? Go to spellsquad.com. Every Sunday, we are giving away a free book courtesy of the beautiful publishers, Red Wheel Wiser, in this case, that donates these books, these beautiful books, brand new books to us, and we get to share them with you. We also sell this at the Parlor of Wonders. So if you can't make it to the Live Magic Q&A, but you're like, oh my gosh, this book looks amazing, which it is, you can purchase it at the Parlor of Wonders. It has all these different flowers and spells that you can do with these flowers, the magic of the flower. It gives you like, how do we work with these flowers in our spiritual practice, right? It's just an absolutely gorgeous book. Hardcover book too, by the way. And we're going to be giving away a copy next Sunday. So I hope you will join us next Sunday for the Live Magic Q&A Tea Party, and you could win that book. We do it everything, of course. Other giveaways are all on the up and up. This one is so fun because we have a spinny wheel and we put everybody's name who is live there in the Q&A, and the Love Witch puts together these beautiful wheel and ice cream colors, so pretty. And then we spin the wheel, all that hard work, and then we get to pick our winner from that. So it's always fun to watch your name on the wheel and see if your name comes up. Usually we have about 30 people show up. So you have a 1 in 30 chance of winning that book, and it doesn't cost you anything to enter. And we even ship it to you free if you place an order over the weekend. If you haven't placed an order, then you get the book for free, but you pay for shipping. So either way, it's a win. You get an amazing book. All right. So with Mel, are there more questions or that?
There are 8 questions.
8 questions. Okay, great. Okay. All right, Mel, we'll look at those questions. Let me pull out your 15 cards. If you'd like to get a reading, you can do that too by going to Venmo, PayPal, or Super Chat. You can find the links in the description of this video. Once you make that donation, go make that donation of $10 per card. So a 1 card reading is $10, 2 card reading is $20, and so on. Once you make that donation, come back over here. Let us know where you donated, how much you donated, and what your question is, and we can do a reading for you too. All right, so let's see what we have for Mel. I'm going to pull your cards, and then we're going to read them as we go down the line. Okay. Lots of cards to pull, so hold on.
Mm-hmm.
You want to pull a charm after each question? You can do that. Yeah. Okay. So the first question is, will the close sign be up this week? I have a feeling that the close sign is going to come up this week, and I'll tell you why. We have the Knight of Wands, which is the Knight of Action. So like, I know that, or I get the sense from your questions as during the different weeks, is that people are not taking action to put up this close sign, right? That you're requesting it, or you're asking for it, or you're wishing for it, but there's no action that has been taken up until this point. This Knight of Wands is an action person, 100%. Somebody who takes action and doesn't dawdle or fiddle faddle around. They just jump in and they do it. So I have a feeling there's somebody there around you, whoever this is, whoever you're interfacing with, or whoever is in charge of putting up the close sign, who's going to take action this week, and that close sign will be up this week. The next question is, what day?
I think that's what day will the close sign be up.
Oh, what's it? What day? Sorry, I was waiting for the second half of that. So
the anticipation was killing me. I was like, what's she going to say?
I know. What day will the close sign be up? Okay, so King of Cups, immediately what comes up for me with King of Cups is Friday. So King of Cups represents the element of water, which is about emotions and feelings and love. Friday is the day of love. So this is the day we do our love spells. This is the day that our love magic is extra empowered. And so when I see King of Cups energy, I think of that loving emotional connection. So I see that it may not happen at the beginning of the week, but should happen on Friday where there's somebody that's taking that action like the Knight of Wands is doing. So, but it's going to be on a Friday. So, all right. So next question.
Sorry, it looks like there's 9 questions, by the way, not 8.
Okay.
But I pulled a charm for these 2, and I got this
sorry.
and I didn't even know I had this charm. This one's never come out of the bag before, so how special. But there's 3 keys on this ring, so I think, yes, that close sign will be up, and it'll be up for at least 3 days. So I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you're going to have easy days where that close sign remains up, and hopefully even longer. Yeah. So
love that.
Here's the next one.
Will I be happy with the outcome of yuck stuff that happens today? Okay. Here's what I'm saying. I'm going to pull 2 cards for this. The 2 cards that I pull are Magician and the Hanged Man. So here's what I will say. There's, with the Hanged Man, both of these are like a yes to a happy outcome. but you have two options on that outcome and how that outcome comes about. So both of these are good outcome cards, so that happy outcome. But you can either wait, which is the Hanged Man, for this good outcome to come, or like the Magician, you can make that good outcome happen for yourself faster. So it depends on the speed of the outcome of that yucky stuff. Like, do you want it to happen quickly? Then you need to be proactive and work your magic. I would even say with the Magician card showing up, doing spells or magic around speeding up that outcome could be very, very empowered and a beautiful way for you to speed that energy up. The Hangman says if you just hang around and do nothing, if you just, don't do anything and you just let it ride, it still will be a good outcome, but it might take a little longer. Hangman is in suspension, nothing moving, nothing changing. But eventually there comes this point where there is a reveal, there is an enlightenment that comes. So this really depends on, what if you want to be proactive or you just want to wait around for it to happen. And that is, but both ensure a happy outcome. So you're going to get your happy outcome sooner if you take action, or later if you just wait around. So for something to happen.
Yeah, I pulled this fairy charm. Don't look at my nails; they're way overdue for being painted. But this fairy charm to me says that yeah, it'll be a good outcome eventually. But I think working with the Fae folk in some way is a good way to speed it up. I don't know if this situation is related to a situation Mel asked about a few weeks ago, but I remember you telling her, "Oh, you need to use like trickster energy. You need to trick these people." And fairies are tricksters, right? So I think that could be like this is continuing messages coming to you that you need to be leaving offerings for the fairies, making requests to the fairies, and working with them to trick these troublemakers in some way. Don't know what that
You
looks
know,
like.
a great spell for working with the fairies is we have that mushroom fairy hut candle, which is about home. It's about fairies, and it can be a great offering. If you want to make an offering, a candle is an offering
Mm-hmm.
across the board. When we burn a candle for a spirit or a deity or for an ancestor or even for ourselves, we're making a sacrifice and we're making an offering, right? So if you want to have the help of the fairies to get that trickster energy going, the fairy hut, the mushroom fairy hut candle is perfect for that. It comes in all 10 colors and you can get that. And I would say work with the native spirit or the spirit guide oil with
Mm.
that to connect with the fairies would be such a beautiful thing. We also have Fae Fortune soap at the Parlor of Wonders, which is about connecting to the fairy kingdom. It's a soap, a bar of soap that you just use. You use it on your body, you can use it on yourself, but it's to help you have that connection, that positive connection to the Fae realm. So there are lots of things that you can do in terms of spellcraft and
Mm-hmm.
witchcraft and spell work that can be really, really helpful for connecting to this energy. You know, as I mean, I know that some of the questions that you have had have been about like the home and about the property around your home. Fairies love to play tricks. And if somebody is doing something that is not in alignment with the fairies, which is tending to the land, caring for the land, being good steward of the land, you can really empower the fairies to play some tricks on them, to like thwart them or stop them,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a really good reason to connect to the fairy kingdom. We also have the beautiful uh, Fay Forest. What
The
is it?
forest fairy? Yeah.
The forest fairy candle, that could be another candle that you might want to use. So mushroom fairy hut if it's more home related or about property, and the fay forest, right, forest fairy, sorry.
Forest fairy, yeah.
I don't know what these candles are called. Forest
That's
fairy candle
neat.
for connecting to spirits of nature, including the fairies of nature. So that could be a good thing
Yeah,
to
and I
really.
want to say too, with that fairy, or well, with either of those fairy candles, if you don't want to burn it, you don't have to. You can use it as to like represent the fairies. You can make offerings at that candle. Like I use the Domovit candle as a representation of my ancestors, and I leave, little treats for it and little coins. And I haven't burned it, and I've had it for years now. So you can work with it that way too, if you don't want to burn a candle, or if you can't burn one for some reason in your house.
Yeah, that's an absolutely beautiful way. Yes. I have candles that sit on my altar for years and years. And then finally one day comes and I'm like, yeah, today's the day I'm going to use it. But in the meantime, it is like a statue.
Mm.
It's like this representation. So if you want to connect, you can make a little mini fairy altar or a little fairy spot in your home and make your offerings there. It was such a lovely thing. Absolutely. All right. Will the C tell T by and when? Okay. All right. Will the C tell T by? Well, 10 of Pentacles shows up. 10 of Pentacles is often like a really strong connection. It can even be an ancestral connection. So my sense is that the right now, as of this moment in time, the bonds between C and T are pretty connected. Doesn't mean that they're not going to disconnect in the future, but right now things are pretty solid. We've got an earthy pentacle card and we've got 10 of Pentacles, which is like long-term family. So I don't see that C will tell B or C will tell T goodbye at this moment in time, but because of that bond. But it may happen at a future date. It may happen at a future date. But right now, mm-mm. Now you can do. Here's talking about spell work. If you want C and T to separate, whether this is a love relationship, a friendship, a work relationship, or any kind of relationship, we can do things like the smooth separation spell, which is to get people to separate and not have any drama or fighting or anything like that, just to separate. Peaceful separation, really. And then we can also do a breakup where there's arguing and fighting and then a breakup. Sometimes I'll say this, arguing and fighting works great when we have like a partnership or we have a friendship or neighbors or whatever to get them to part, because arguing is not going to stimulate makeup breakup cycles. With lovers, sometimes the arguing and the fighting will be like a dramatic breakup, and then parties will feel guilty and they'll come back and apologize and then they'll get back together again and all of that. So I always say try smooth separation first, unless it's another kind of partnership where you know that arguing will be the final straw. With smooth separation is like they just go their own ways, they go their separate ways, no drama, no trauma, and the partnership is over. So that might be a good strategy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so too. I pulled this wand charm. So I think, will it happen on its own? Maybe eventually, but will it happen with some magical encouragement? Yes, much faster.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if right now they're too bonded, but if you need to break them up for some reason, it can be done with a breakup. We have a smooth separation spell kit. We have a breakup spell kit. We have a deluxe smooth separation spell kit if it's a romantic relationship, or you want them to be with a different partner, even if it's a business partner. But if it's a non-romantic thing, I don't think you need the deluxe so much. But for situations where you want them to move on and find somebody else, then you want a deluxe breakup, deluxe smooth separation. If it's just a simple, separation, you can do a smooth separation spell kit or a breakup spell kit. Yeah. Will T admit this was planned? Um, Card I pulled is 10 of Wands. 10 of Wands is like a heavy burden. So my sense is that yes, it was planned. Yes, T is carrying the burden of knowing that it was planned. There is the other aspect of this. If this is something that they planned, and if it is a heavy burden, they might admit it to some certain people that they are close to, but I don't think they're going to publicly admit it. So again, going back to that trickster energy, you might be tricky enough to get them to reveal it to you, or you might be able to get that information out of somebody that they admitted it to. So I think that with 10 of Wands energy, they kind of know what they did was wrong and that they planned it, but I don't get the sense that they're going to admit it to publicly, but they're going to admit it to individuals. And if you can access those individuals or T themselves and convince and get that story out of them, then you'll have your information.
Yeah, I think so too. The champagne flute came up again, so maybe with some liquid encouragement, you will admit that this was planned. So yeah, if you know a drinking buddy of teas or something like that, or if you can get the booth behind tea at the bar, these could be good strategies.
Yeah.
But I think too, like if you wanted to take a magical approach to that, you could do like a spell with like lips candles, right? To loosen up their lips, get them talking, get them, get like I'm picturing kind of like a telltale heart situation, right? Like, oh, just make it so they've got to get this off their chest. They've got to confide in somebody. So that could be like a nice little bit of coercive magic you could do.
Oh my gosh.
Really get them
You know what that just made me think of as an off-brand way of using the champagne celebration candle with the lips candle,
Yes.
right?
Oh, yes. That's a great idea.
So I think of the champagne celebration, which looks like a candle that looks like a champagne bottle, is used for spells where we're going to manifest something that we're going to celebrate, like a big win of some kind, right? It wouldn't be a bad idea, in any case. You can use it for that, right? But you could use it like more directly so that this person drinks and spills the beans with someone that shares with you. And I think that would be an amazing spell with that champagne celebration and lips. If you want to do a spell around it, that would be great. So, all right, let's see. So then there's 8 questions, and let's take a look at what we're going to do here. So I'll do this. All right. So the next 5 are going to be about the week. How will the week be? And was I safe and invisible today is going to be 2 cards. And did others know about the today yuck thing? Okay. So let's look first at the week ahead. You know what I love? You're starting out the week with such power. We've got Queen of Pentacles as your very first card. Queen of Pentacles represents this energy of being strong and grounded. And I think that in this scenario, you're better off than you think you are. You are safe and secure. I mean, there's nothing more secure than the groundedness of Mother Earth. And here we have this wonderful Queen of Pentacles holding this beautiful gold coin. So I get the sense that things are very grounded for you this week. You're very empowered this week. You start off the week with this sense of empowerment and sense of groundedness. So that's a wonderful thing to see. Next card is the Six of Cups. You've got support. Six of Cups represents this loving relationship around you. It could be a friendship, it could be partnership, it could even be a loving work or business related friendship, but you just have this loving support around you. And to lean into that loving support, your good friends, the people that care about you, including, including the Love Witch and I, we care about you. You have these people around you that do care about you, that see you. And so receive that love, right? Receive the love from others. There's a little hidden message in this card. In the traditional card, well, it kind of shows it here. But in the traditional card, the little boy is giving the little girl a golden goblet with flowers in it. So really, when I see that, it's like about this sense of like generosity and loving care that is being given. And so I feel like for you that there's people around you that are willing to help, willing to show you that love and want to help you this week. So you've got good people around you. Next card for this week is the Moon card. So the Moon card represents stepping into the unknown. So there's part of this week where you're like, I don't know what's going to happen with that thing. But the Moon card is saying, trust, walk forward, your blessings are coming. So always think about like the opportunities that are presented to you. It's like a door being open. And if you see a door open, step through it. It's your guides opening that door for you. And by going in that door and experience that thing, you're going to open up more doors. So I love this Moon card, which is telling you to have faith and trust, even if you don't know or aren't assured of a certain outcome. To step through the door is the thing to do, to go steps forward and just have trust and faith in that process. Ace of Cups is the next card. Ace of Cups represents like new beginnings, and I love it coupled with the Death card. Death card is about graduation. Death card is about leaving behind the thing that was very mediocre, mundane, so okay, and expanding into something that's even better. It's another step through the door card, right? So it's not about like somebody dying, especially with all these really positive cards around it. It's nothing like that. But I liken the death card to having like a graduation day. When you graduated from high school, please introduce me to the person who said, "Oh, I want to go back to high school and do it all over again." That person doesn't exist. Nobody goes through high school and feels like, "Oh, I want to do that all over again." You've accomplished it, you've done it, and you're moving on. So I do get a sense that for you, there's been these things that have been kind of hanging on or haven't been resolved. And I see resolution that allows you to move on this week, which is such a good thing. Ace of Cups energy also speaks directly to the heart, and I see the happiness and the overflowing energy of the heart. So this week is going to like you're going to tie up some loose ends. You're going to have this heart full of love and happiness. You've got loving people around you. It's like the week could not be more positive, but it comes with that graduation and with the tying up of the loose ends and with the resolution to the problems that you've been facing. I don't know that all the problems are going to be solved, but a significant one is going to be resolved this week. Maybe that's the close sign. Maybe it's something related to the close sign, but something is going to be resolved this week that's going to give you that sense of closure so that you can move on with something, which is a great thing. So, what do you have for the week?
I pulled this jester, so I think it's your job this week to find the levity and to bring that levity to the table. Other people might want to make it a heavy, hard week, but it doesn't have to be that way. So whenever you feel the energy shifting that way, or you feel yourself going in that direction, just remind yourself, it's my job this week to keep things light. And I think if you can do that, it's going to be a really light, easy week. And yeah, problems will resolve themselves. So yeah, focus on what's light. And I think sometimes this too, like if you're having like a really busy week, sometimes when I'm really busy, I feel like, oh, I have to keep all these different balls up in the air, right? That's okay. Being a professional juggler, that sounds like a pretty fun job, right? So there are worse things you could have to do. So I think focus on the ways in which what you're dealing with is fun and not as hard as things you've done in the past.
Yeah. And if you're finding it hard to find that levity, take some time to read something humorous, watch a funny movie, listen to funny, amusing things, to
Mhm.
really create that energy. You can always create that
Absolutely.
energy. So, yeah. Yeah. Comedies, man. This laughter is something that is precious and we should always cultivate it. All right. So, number 7 was I safe and invisible today? Am I good? Yes, you were 100%. Look at that universe card that shows up. That's the world card in the traditional, like the universe card. It's like she's got that ring of protection, that those laurel wreaths around her, the success of the ring of laurel wreaths, and also that protection. She almost looks like, she's a little bit invisible with those stars behind her. She kind of blends in. So I feel like you were able to keep your energy like really, this is the very interesting thing about magic. People, I talk about invisibility spells, and people are like, what are you playing, Dungeons and Dragons? What invisibility spell? Energetic invisibility is as good as physical invisibility. If they don't sense your energy, they can't find you. So I with my purple hair can walk into a place, and if I want to be invisible, no one will find me. I've done experiments where I'm like, okay, my friend, I'm going to go in. My friend is there. I'm going to meet my friend someplace, and I'm going to go in with an invisibility spell and see how close I can get to my friend before they see me. Oftentimes, it's me walking right up to them and right up to their face before they see me. This is not something that's exclusive to witchcraft. Anybody who's a tracker or somebody who has to be invisible because they're hunting or they're a warrior of some kind, or there's some reason that they have to be invisible. In times past, people practiced invisibility so that they couldn't be seen. Now, there's a physical part of that too. It's right. It's like wearing soft boots. So if you step on things, you're not going to be making a bunch of noise or something like that. But there can also be things about energetic invisibility that make you invisible to anybody that means to harm you, or just being invisible because you don't want to be bothered with anyone. So I would say, a fast track way of doing that could be working with powerful protection oil, which makes you invisible, energetically invisible to your enemies. But you can also practice that, like that thing, like I'm going to walk through this mall, but I'm not going to let anybody see me. I'm going to be invisible in this mall. No one's going to notice me, right? I mean, also shoplifters probably practice that too. I never really thought about that. Thieves, shoplifters, whenever
You
they
know when I
if
do this? I do this when I walk past the perfume counter and I don't want to get sprayed a million times. I'm like, you're gonna approach someone else, right?
they're right, I'm
Yeah, I go
invisible.
past kiosk in the mall, invisible.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So practice, practice that invisibility, which is really like setting the intention that nobody is going to see me. I also do a visualization where like I feel like my aura and then I pull it in so close to my body. So my aura is not out there touching everybody, making them aware of me. It's really close to my body. So unless they get right next to me, they're not going to sense me. And then like try walking through a mall and see if you're not noticed. I'm telling you, I've got purple hair. I wear wild clothes and I can walk into something and not be noticed because of that um, ability to pull in my energy and to make
Mhm.
myself invisible. You can do it too. And powerful protection oil can help with that. So your question was, were you safe and invisible today? This is absolute yes. And I also see this wonderful page of pentacles.
Mm.
Pages represent yang energy, small energy, right? So like it's almost like you were able to like sneak by, like a little kid's able to sneak into something, but also grounded, like that Queen of Pentacles that we saw earlier. Very grounded energy, right? Very solid energy. I think you were tricky as a little kid, being able to sneak into the circus tent and get a free seat, or and that universe card says that invisibility. All right. So what did you get?
I think a fun side effect of getting really good at invisibility like that is you also figure out how to do the opposite, right? Where if I'm like standing at the bar trying to get the bartender's attention, I just have to do the inverse of that and really expand my energy and call them in, and it works just as well as trying to hide yourself. So that's a fun little side effect too. I pulled this crown, so I think this is about like that grounding, queenly energy. But also, there's a cross on the top of this crown representing a connection to the divine. So I think, yeah, you were divinely protected and invisible, and you need to remember that that's a strength you have and a skill you can tap into whenever you need it. So when you're feeling anxious or worried or like you need to be on the down low, you can do it. And you're a Scorpio, so you could do it all along now.
Yeah, and Scorpios are really good at invisibility too,
Yeah,
because
we're the sign of mystery, right? What's more mysterious than something you can't see?
yeah, I mean, but Scorpio energy is very magnetic, but I think Scorpios also have this like cloaking device that they can turn it off and on just sort of naturally.
Mhm.
So, yeah. But you want to turn it on when it makes sense for you, and you want to, keep it off when it doesn't make sense for you, right? All right. So the last thing was, did others know about the today yuck thing? When we see an ace, that means a yes. Then I see though that we have Four of Wands. So actually, this today yuck thing might have a very, very good outcome by people knowing about it, right? So it's not going to be a bad outcome from people knowing about it. I don't know which preference you have for people not knowing or knowing, but I do say that yes, they know, but Four of Wands is saying that people in the community are going to rally and do the thing to help fix that situation, whatever it is. So um, it's a good thing. Even if what you're thinking is like, I don't want people to know about it. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but if that's the case, the knowing is actually going to produce a good result. So
Yeah, I think so too. I got this crescent moon, and so I think you need to focus on people just learning more and more information about this each day that shines more and more light on why it was yuck and why this needs to be prevented from happening again. The moon is growing in the sky as we speak. The new moon's what, on Thursday or Friday this week? It's coming up, so go
full
out and
moon,
connect
full moon.
with the full
Yeah.
moon. So go out and connect with the moon each night and notice it getting larger in the sky. And as you see that, imagine or visualize this awareness becoming wider as well, and these people learning more about what happened and why it was bad. Yeah, I think it's going to have a really nice silver lining. So try and just focus on that.
Yeah, love that. Thank you so much, Mel. We're so grateful for you and your donations and your consistency. Oh, we just love you and we
Yes,
appreciate
we
you right back. And we're so grateful. All we had all regulars today, no newbies today. We're so grateful for you regulars coming every week, sharing your generosity, getting a reading from us, letting us have fun and share our gifts and skills with you. We're so grateful for that. So now that I think we're ready to like wrap it up, unless you want to get a reading and maybe we'll hang out. Let me make a few announcements. How's that? While I'm making these announcements, if you get your reading in, or if you go into chat and say, hey, don't shut down. I'm going to make a donation right now. You can do that right now and then make your donation and then come back so that we don't leave before you make your donation. So if you want a reading, this is the last call. But while you are getting that notification to us over the chat or the comments or whatever. What is it?
The
I don't
chat,
know. The
yeah.
chat. Um, I'm going to make a couple of announcements, and then if nobody comes in and says, "Hey, don't shut down yet," then if no one does that, then we'll end our session today. So here are some announcements. First of all, do you have questions about magic, divination, working with spirits? I mean, anything and everything, folk magic, Slavic folk magic, or just want some recommendations on a spell that you can do for a certain situation in your life, or how to work with a certain kind of magical material, anything about magic. I've got answers for you. I've got decades of witchcraft experience. I started my witchcraft journey back in the 1980s. Oh my God, so long ago. I mean, we could even say I started in the 70s as a little witch spinning around under the moon in my backyard saying I'm a witch, but that doesn't really count, I think, even though the desire was there. My actual witchcraft journey and learning about witchcraft started in the 80s. And then working with covens, practicing magic. I mean, I practiced magic with my mom, but really practicing on my own started in the 80s. Anyway, so I've got loads and loads of experience, and I'm so happy to share all that experience with you to help you improve your life. So if you would like to join me, we have and get those questions answered, or maybe you just want to come in and hang out and listen, or maybe you want to win this free book, Flower Magic. We're going to be giving that away next Sunday. Join us for the free live magic Q&A tea party. It takes place every Sunday, except for the first Sunday, because we have a private meeting for our coven members that day. Um, it takes place at 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and 8 Eastern. It doesn't cost anything to come. It doesn't cost anything to participate. It doesn't cost anything to join. All you need to do to join in is sign up at spellsquad.com. Once you sign up there, you'll be given a hot ton of free gifts, including the link to join us for the free live magic Q&A tea party. Now you can just come and watch. It's a webinar format, so your camera isn't on. You don't have to be embarrassed. You can even use a fake name if you want to be anonymous in there. But you can come on to our Zoom meeting. We stream it over YouTube, but if you want to ask questions and you want to win the prize, you've got to be in the Zoom room. So come on over. Just sign up at spellsquad.com and come join us. We're going to be doing that witchy book giveaway every live magic Q&A tea party. We are giving away a free magic book courtesy of our favorite witchy publishers. This coming Sunday, we'll be giving away Flower Magic courtesy of Red Wheel Weiser. Beautiful book, amazing book. We have it for sale at the Parlor of Wonders, but you can get a free copy courtesy of Red Wheel Weiser by coming to our live magic Q&A tea party. If you want to win, just show up. And at the end, we spin the wheel and announce a winner. No purchase is required to win, but you must be in attendance. And if you placed an order over the weekend, we will add your book to your order and cover the shipping for you. If you didn't place an order, you will be given a coupon for the book and you will just pay for the shipping. So if you'd like that gorgeous book, come on down next Sunday. The Leo New Moon Lion of Pride spell is perfect for boosting your self-confidence and calling forth your best, most empowered self. This spell can help you embrace your true authentic self, attract radiant positive energy, and help you to radiate confidence. This beautiful, large beeswax lion, it's like the size of a softball. This candle is only available as part of this new moon spell kit, and you want to get it before it goes away forever. You can get it as a kit that includes all the ingredients you need except for the tray and the matches and the pen to write your petition. That spell kit comes with complete instructions on how to do this beautiful complex spell. You could also join me for a workshop and get a spell kit with the New Moon Spell Kit and Workshop, and then you can join me. And we talk about the deep lore of the herbs, what the colors are used for. We go into a real deep dive on the magic of this spell. You can join me for the New Moon Group Spell Service, which is when I burn the spell for you. I burn this candle for you. So if you don't have the ability to burn a candle, or you just want to have someone else do it for you, I can do it for you. So happy to do it with the New Moon Group Spell Service. This closes in a week, not even less than a week, July 11th. And our new moon is on July 24th. So you got to hurry up and get this. Go ahead and order it by going to newmoonspells.com. Or if you want to have a group spell service or a spell kit and workshop or a spell kit every month, you can subscribe and save some money. We've got some amazing new spell candles. In fact, I haven't even updated this. What's the newest spell candle, Love Witch?
The Holy Mountain and
Oh,
and the
the
Eiffel Tower also.
Eiffel Tower travel spell. So if you're going to be traveling, you want to check out that Eiffel Tower travels spell. If you want to overcome challenges or reach the top, be the top of something, beautiful Holy Mountain candle for that. But here's some other new candles that we've just dropped in the last couple of weeks. The Lucky Beeswax Lucky Dice, the Forest Fairy that we were talking about earlier, the Beeswax All-Seeing Eye Pyramid for prosperity, the Raven Magic Candle for bringing in wisdom, intelligence, or finding out somebody's secrets, the Beeswax Squirrel of Abundance for building long-lasting wealth, and the Beeswax Equinox and Solstice Candle for celebrating the season. You can burn 4 of these in a year and manifest 4 different things in the 4 different seasons. Such a beautiful candle. If you want to see these and all the other new candles, including that Eiffel Tower and that Holy Mountain, go to parlorwonders.com and click on new arrivals, view all. Full moon workshops. We've got some amazing full moon workshops coming up, including on July 10th, working with animal offerings and altars. We've also got in August, mastering curse reversals, and September, animal psychic communication. October, mastering success magic. November is animal familiar spells, and December is the dark magic of winter. You can take all of these classes by subscribing, and you'll save 25% off the individual price. You can easily subscribe and unsubscribe at any time. Go to fullmoonworkshops.com to see all the classes and to see the subscription service. Slavic Sundays workshops take place on the first Sunday of the month. We just had this one today, Voda, Slavic Water Magic, but next month we have Vili Body Vis, Slavic Wax Pouring. September is Vishivanki, Slavic Talismanic Embroidery. October is the Old Slavic Spirits. November, the Myth and Magic of Baba Yaga. And December, Jibi Vohon, which is Slavic Living Fire Magic. Just like our full moon workshops, you can subscribe and save 25%. And if you'd like to see these or subscribe, go to witchcraftworkshops.com. Hey, did we pick our winner yet for
Yes,
June?
last month's winner was Nicole T.
Nicole T. Amazing. All right. So we do a thing at the Parlor of Wonders where if you write reviews on the products that you bought, you are automatically entered into that month's giveaway for a $100 Parlor of Wonders gift certificate. You can leave as many reviews as you want, and each one will get you an additional entry into that month's giveaway. So now we're in July. So if you leave a review, you'll be entered to win in our July. We pick it in early August. You might be the winner, and you can use that $100 toward a reading or toward services or toward product, whatever you want. We randomly pick a winner each month and send them a gift certificate. And our June winner was Nicole T. And May winner was Oral Yes. You'll see the names up on this board that we have at magicgiveaway.com. And if you want to learn more about it, basically what you've learned here, or just get a reminder about what you have to do, go to magicgiveaway.com. Really, all you have to do is leave the reviews. You don't have to enter anything or let us know that you've left that review, because we see all the reviews for the month, and then you're automatically entered to win. And that's it. Let's see, did that go away? Great, perfect. All right, any more readings? No readings, more readings came up? Then I guess we're done. Our total for today is $250. We did great, you guys. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you. I want to say another thank you to Mel, Adrija, Devon, Seasick Music, and Jessica. Thank you, wonderful regulars. We're so happy and so grateful for you, and so happy to be hanging out with you and do readings for you. Anything you'd like to share about what's coming up, Love Witch? Is there anything pertinent you're doing?
No. I don't know. Book a reading with me. Book a spell with me.
Spell, or
Like,
even your beautiful custom spell kits. Like if you want
yeah.
a spell
Mhm.
kit and we don't have a spell kit that addresses your need, the Love Witch can put together a custom spell kit for you with complete instructions that is just customized couture spell for your intentions. And so you can find out more about that by going to custom-spells.com, or you go over to the Love Witch's site. I'm sure you have it up on the site, right? Go to
Mhm.
lovewitchnyc.com and you can find it there. All right, everybody. Well, thank you so much for joining us here. We're going to bow out. I'm going to get some dinner. You're going to get some rest, I'm sure. Maybe not. Maybe you'll be up all night. Who knows? Love Witch. It could go either way.
Probably, yeah. I'm yawning now, so I'm sure I'll be wide awake by 1 a.m. and then back to 4. So,
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll see you next week at 6 p.m. Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, 9 Eastern. We stay here usually for a couple hours, hour or two, and somewhere in there. And we do readings for you. So we hope you'll join us again next week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye bye.